I would say the first section is skills that I learned that don't have to do with Judaism or Zionism. Things like independence, things like determination, just skills that you learn throughout the year and that really help you become like a productive civilian and a role model and a person with values and someone who can actually get things done in life. The second part was Judaism. Before I came on Hachshara, my private school Jewish education wasn't so great, and Bnei really gave me those tools. It gave me the opportunity that if I wanted, I had all the resources around me to go and learn and to try and to learn and to study and to figure out and to ask questions and receive answers. And the third part, to do with Zionism, before I came to Israel on Limud, my only experience of Israel was family holidays and a 6-week school trip. And when I came on Limud, my whole perception of Zionism changed and what it means to be in the land and love the land. And without Limud, without Hachshara, I really wouldn't have received any of these three things.
But there are a lot of people, and like my dad was one of them, who really believed, because he himself did a gap year program, that it's important to like take time to kind of, for yourself, to realize who you are, to learn a lot about yourself, to understand what you kind of want to do with your life. And something that I realized is that I could always go and study, the year after, a little bit later down the line. I would not always have the opportunity again to be part of a Hachshara program. Kind of gives you a sense of belonging, and it really made me feel and understand the fragility of life, and kind of realizing how it's more important to live life and do things and not always rush to the next thing.
Bnei Akiva is my home. It's my family. I've been a part of it since I can remember. And I think being able to have an experience where I can both learn and grow as a person was the best option for me. And I think by choosing Limud, I don't only get to be with South Africans, but also get to make friends with Australians, which obviously are going to be my friends for life.
You end up becoming the most you version of yourself. You become a version of yourself that you didn't even realize existed before. And ultimately, whether you choose to go back to your community or stay in Israel, in both situations you become people that are going to be giving to society and active members of our community.
I never really believed I was going to make Aliyah before I came on Hachshara. And by the end of the year, I still wasn't 100% sure that I was going to do it. But the minute I left Israel and Hachshara, I kind of realized, b'di'evid, looking back, that I really was interested and wanted to come back on Aliyah.
And I think that that's a big part of Limud, is that the Chanichim ultimately take on their own leadership roles whilst being assisted by the Madrichim. And they're able to, in the middle of kibbutz, take a whole night out of their lives and dedicate it to learning Torah. I think that this program, potentially more than others, really is actualizing Bnei Akiva's ideologies. And it means that if you put in the effort to learn and sit down and have a chavruta, or to go and see the whole land of Israel, you end up having one a very authentic Bnei Akiva experience. But I also think that because you're somewhat living in the real world, if you sit down and make the time, the reward that you're going to gain in the long run is out of this world. So it's a program that requires a little bit of effort on your part, but the rewards that you gain in the end is incredible.
Honestly, I can't even explain what we had. It was like the best 10 days of my entire life, and just being able to walk in Israel and just experience kind of like a togetherness, but also make memories that you would never make just stunned in the cities. I think just to we've had a great 6 months, we've experienced a lot and everything, but I think also to carry on growing as a person and to take whatever I learn in these next 6 months and what I've learned already, just back with me to South Africa.
Hachshara with Bnei Akiva is an incredible opportunity to kind of look outside and think outside the box. It gives you experiences and opportunities that you won't always have, be it sitting down learning a year in yeshiva, living on a kibbutz, marva, mada, volunteering. It's basically a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I know as much as that sounds cliche, it really is. You've got to kind of seize the opportunity, and I promise you, speaking of someone who's 28 years old and just finished university, if you don't have a degree by the age of 21, everything will be okay.
And it's amazing to see how we often speak about Hachshara being a year where you learn and then relearn, and then the years afterwards you give back. Whereas Limud is a program where throughout the year you're able to give back. You're developing your leadership skills whilst being a leader in the same front.
And come to Israel, have a gap year, experience your people, experience your land, experience your culture. And I would say that this year is probably fundamental in building the future of your life. It's at an age, 18, 19, where your personality is being developed. You're starting to decide what your values are. You're starting to decide what your morals are. And in my opinion, it's probably the most important year of your life to build who you want to be in the future. So take a gap year, go on Hachshara.
I invite you to join us here at Bnei Akiva for a year of growth, experience, inspiration, a life-changing year.